Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Tankers of Blitz Universe, welcome back to the channel. My name is Martindogger and we're looking at the T-54 Mod.1 today. It's a tier 8 premium Russian medium tank available once again in the store, and Wargaming advertised this one as being reliable. And that pretty much sums up the tank in just one word. Sometimes the marketing gets out of hand, they are versatile or shielded or just epic. But this one, it is indeed reliable. It is a medium. It's classified as a medium, but the armor profile, it can put some heavy tanks in the game to shame. Yes, French tanks, I am looking at you. The T-54 Mod.1 or T-54 first prototype, it boasts 120mm of frontal armor and 180 at the front of the turret. And that is a bit less than the Type 59, which you were able to get from the recent event. It is far better than the AMX CDC, which you were able to get from recent events as well. But it's better than the T-44. And it is a very low slung tank as well. You can put it into dips into the ground and then expose that that frontal plate only. And it doesn't really have a commander's hatch on top, so it's not as vulnerable as the T-95E2 or the Type 59 pattern. What does this tank then have to give up for all that armor? Well, it has to sacrifice DPM. The DPM is not brilliant. It's not bad, but it's not brilliant. It sits below 2k, 1844 to be precise, if you're firing APCR from your 100mm gun. You do have 280 alpha, so that's a good shot. And if you use APCR, you will drop to 1581 in terms of DPM, and that's not brilliant. You do sacrifice a bit in terms of mobility as well, and that's mostly because it is the same engine as a T-44, as a Type 59, but you are a far more heavy tank. That frontal armor, it's the price to pay. You can't have a really mobile tank together with good frontal armor and then a really accurate gun. The gun itself, it's not too bad actually. 2.2 seconds in terms of aim time, 0.355 dispersion. Dispersion upon movement and rotation, it's quite good, but not as good as the T-44 100, which is in the store as well. So let's take a quick look at that. What's the price of the reliable T-54 first prototype? It's 7,500 gold. And it's not bad. Some of the recent tanks in tier 8 have been ridiculously expensive. The Chrysler K, for example, the Revelry Say, basically any of the recent tanks in the garage or in the store have been hideously expensive. But not this one so much. 7,500. That's about on par with the tanks like the Löwe, the FCM50T, T-34. Basically all the tanks in the garage have more or less the same price. But this one, I think it's a bit more of a must-have tank in the game. The gun is slightly lacking in terms of penetration, and you will need to use some APCR from time to time. I'm spamming it a bit over here. I wasn't quite too sure what tank that was actually. It was a Centurion. Didn't need an APCR shot, but I got the kill there anyway. And you can see it's not a bad earner at all. 65k net income, not too bad. First class on this one because I captured a base, and that's kind of ridiculous, getting loads of XP for just capturing a base. But it was a good game, and it showed what the tank can do. And this game on Pod Bay is going to show some more what the tank can do. You can see once you pick up speed, it can go really quick, about 40-45 kilometers per hour. But if you then have to climb a hill, that doesn't work that well. The gun, it's not laser accurate. Missed that shot, it was an easy one actually. This one is going to go in on the Panther 2. Thank you very much for staying there. And then I have to turn around because I'm getting harassed by that M103. That's a sole Tier 9 tank on the red team. We have a T-95, the T-49s in platoon. They have managed to capture the spots across the river into the corner. But that M103 is doing the right thing. He's trying to push me out of my ivory tower here, out of the high ground here. And in the meantime, I'm keeping an eye on the minimap, and I'm watching the T-95, and I'm bouncing a shot there from the M103, which has a good gun, so it speaks volumes of the armor profile of the T-54 Mod.1. 95 in the meantime is going forward ever so slowly. I was hoping he's going to push then in on the M103. He might not be, so I'm trying to trap the M103 in place. That doesn't quite work. Popping the speed boost. And if you then have the speed boost, and once you can go downhill, then the tank picks up speed quite well. There we go. Oopsie daisy, merry-go-round, and we can shoot him through the side and get the M103 out of the game with a little bit of help from the T-95. But take a look at the minimap. In the meantime, the flank has fallen. The T-49 platoon is really low on hit points, and one of them is going to go down thanks to the red T-54 E1. There is a Borsig at the back still. Red T-49 kills our Borsig. And I basically want to keep the T-95 alive. So should have switched to HE there to put a shot into the Borsig, because it is a 100mm round, which gives you 350 average alpha for your HE round. Only 50 penetration, but that will do against a Borsig just fine. Quick look then on the equipment I'm running at the moment. I haven't got everything unlocked, but I am running a rammer currently, improved modules, optics, gun laying drive. You need that one on this tank, is that's my experience at least. Improved assembly for some more hit points, engine accelerator. You could use probably the improved control for added traverse, but I like to pick up speed just a little bit quicker, and using the vertical stabilizer, and that in total brings my aim time down to 3.9 as it says in the game. 2.2 from blitz stalls, that's once the tank has come to a full stop. And I'm not using the toolbox or the high-end consumables yet. You can see I have managed to kill a tank, and I have to try to bounce a few shots now in here. I should have just pushed together with the T-95 towards the Borsig. APCR fading me on the front of that AT-15, which is annoying, and then I can hopefully bounce another shot. No, not available. Yeah, bounce another one, and then shoot the RU and angle my front into him, and then to bounce another one. There we go, and then I'm going to bump into him and die because I have 4 hit points left, and now I have none. Now I decided to cut a part of the video out because it was just basically the T-95 killing the AT-15 and then rolling forward and then getting shot by the T-49, and then he shot again and he missed, and we're just sitting on both sides of the rock basically. And then eventually the 95 decided to switch to HE, I think. Is he going to? Yeah, there he is. He's going to kill him. Thank you very much. Took you some time. But yeah, we won. We've won. This was a second class match. I'm going to take a look at the results in a second. There they are. You can see 50k in terms of income. Once you start using APCR, it kind of drops fairly quickly, because in terms of damage done, this was basically the same as the previous game. But you can see APCR, it is kind of costly, especially if you shoot them and then bounce and don't penetrate. What's the best way to play the tank then? I think it's a frontline medium tank. I think it's a frontline medium tank that should shy away from really the hilly bits. It doesn't have the gun depression, and it doesn't have the quick mobility back and forth like say a Patton can do to really take advantage of that. You have to expose quite a bit of your tank to get over ridges. And your armor profile is really good, that front plate can be angled up, but your lower plate is vulnerable. And if you push across on the middle, like here on Canyon, you will get shot in that lower plate. And we had a few light tanks going in here, which I will think, right, they are going into the middle area. That's 2 tanks over there, no need for me to push in over there. I was trying to get some side shots in, and then decided to go forward and try to get a shot in on the FCM-50T, not available. Right, what we're gonna do here, is this available? Let's try to set up for just a little bit of a side scrape. Nope, we're gonna move 1 house back, because I know there's just this little depression over there. There we go. Only track damage, that's annoying. You notice that one, that little depression there with the snow? That's it seems to be tailor-made for a tank like this. And the FCM penetrates me, and you could also... Thank you, 43. Luckily for you, there's no friendly fire in World of Tanks Blitz. Otherwise, I would have shot you right up the ass. Right, we're gonna shoot him again. Bounce on front blade of the FCM-50T. We've lost the tank already. And I basically want to hold this corner now. So I'm going to side script out. That is a Tiger there, I think. Let's say MX-50. Hello, T-29. That's the first bounce. We're bouncing on him as well. Bouncing the FCM-50T. And I haven't done anything yet in terms of damage. Letting the T-43 pass, and I can put a nice shot into the T-29. Then go forward and bounce the return shot. And this is what a Mod 1 can do. You can see this is me being held down. I don't really have gun depression. If I would have been in a T95 pattern or in the 95 E2, then I would have been able to go hull down there and use the gun depression. But you just don't have that in a Mod 1. So you need to be in positions like this. If you get stuck on a hill, on the middle of canyon for example, you will be in trouble. But this is great. I can use the frontal armor, I can use houses to shield my sides left and right. And luckily, look at what's happening here. This guy, the Tiger 1, suddenly he's AFK. And I think I'm going to shoot him. Let's kill this one first. Let's pray that he stays AFK. He gets tracked the T-49 in place. We're just going to park you straight into the wall. 135 hit points left. Bye-bye T-49. Oh, there he is again. Hello, Tiger. And bounce a return shot. Suddenly he came back alive. Really fortuitous for me. There was a bit of luck on that side. Had that Tiger not been AFK, I would have tried to kill him, keep him in front of me, and then hopefully kill him in time before that T-49 would have been able to shoot me up my arse. But yeah, bit of luck. But this is what you should do in a tank, I think. You should keep it on terrain that is a bit hilly, where you can hide the hull, go hull down, but don't use it on spots like this if you have a choice. It is not a ridgeline fighter because of 5 degrees of gun depression only. Is it then a tank that's worth having in your garage? Oh yes, it is. By all means. 7,500, it's not going to get any cheaper than that. If you have any of the collectible tanks at a lower tier sitting in your garage just gathering dust, sell them, get this one. You will not regret it. I have a great Ace game stream highlight on my channel as well. There's a link in the top right hand side corner of the screen as well. Well worth checking out, because that one is a better game in terms of using the tank than the 3 I've shown here. But these 3 games, they give a good example of what you can do in the tank. My name is Martindogger, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you all on the next video. Cheers and happy tanking!